What's good, YouTube? In this video we're going to be talking about the best advice and tips for new ranked arena players. Now this season there has been a lot more arena players, and this is because of either A, you're coming from a new game, or B, you're trying out or transitioning from BR. So I decided to make this video to help you guys out with probably the best tips that anyone can really give when it comes to helping someone new to the game mode and just improving and helping you win your games and ranking up when it comes to ranked arenas. Now before we start this video off, in the comment section, if you're someone who's new or struggling, let me know down in the comment section if you have any questions or anything that you want me to answer. I'll definitely help out by answering the comments. But the first thing we're going to talk about is probably the best tip that I could give when it comes to ranked arenas, and that is positioning. Positioning is probably the most important thing when it comes to arenas. When I say positioning, I'm talking about just holding angles, I'm talking about holding power spots, and just getting to a certain area very quick. This could be different on different maps, but usually it's the middle of the map, where people end up fighting. Positioning is very important. You want to be aggressive when you are grabbing positioning because you don't want the enemies to beat you there. If the enemies end up beating you there to the positioning, it could be a struggle for you guys when it comes to winning that round. So you want to be aggressive when it comes to positioning yourself. Always in these YouTube videos, you're always going to see me in the gameplay, see the positioning that I do. You can definitely look at that. But like I said, you always want to try to beat the enemies to the middle, the power spots, the supply bins, or the materials, right? You always want to get those. The best way to do that is using the abilities, and also grabbing angles is key as well. One of the most important things also when it comes to arenas is getting that first knock. Grabbing angles is usually with certain legends. You can obviously do it with any legend, but when you do it with certain legends, like movement legends like Pathfinder, Octane, and even Horizon, these are best when you talk about grabbing angles. The reason being is because Pathfinder, Octane, these are quick legends, so they could get back to the team if they need to very quick with the grapple or the stim. Horizon is good for grabbing angles as well because of her gravity lift. Her gravity lift allows you to go up in the sky and just shoot down on the enemies. You just have different angles compared to everyone else. Now legends that I would not say to grab angles with are legends like Gibraltar or Lifeline. These are two legends that are very popular in arenas, but you want to stay with your team when you play these two legends. The reason being is because if you're a Lifeline and if enemies see you all by yourself trying to grab angles, I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get aped. Enemies will full send you if you're by yourself. And if you're a Lifeline, you know that you have no escape ability, you have no stem, you have no grapple, no lift, no phase, no nothing. So stay with your team if you're a Lifeline. Gibraltar is always best with a team as well. You and your team play the bubble. So that was the positioning. Like I said, positioning is key. Try not to stay in the back when you're playing arenas. Now the second thing that we're going to talk about that's very important is your playstyle. Your playstyle is however you want it to be. But the main thing that I want to say is understanding your playstyle. So once you understand what your playstyle is, you want to play and buy certain things that are going to support your playstyle. Or if you and your team are going to rush, then you want to buy abilities, right? Buy extra abilities if you can in order to help with the aggressive pushing. You want to buy nades, upgrade your guns. This is very key when it comes to rushing. You want to have the best guns, the most ammo in your guns, the best barrel, all that stuff. Upgrade your guns, and when you're rushing, you definitely want to choose guns that are more supportive for up close. And these are guns like the flatline, submachine guns, and also guns like a hammer point gun. Use those guns if you're gonna rush. And just remember, like I said, if you have that playstyle of rushing, help yourself by supporting yourself, buying those stuff that I said, right? Buying extra abilities, nades. The number one thing for sure is upgrading your gun. Now the second type of playstyle is the more smart, defensive, out damaging your enemies type of playstyle. And usually this playstyle is the more laid back playstyle. With this type of playstyle, what you want to do is you want to buy heals, especially the shield batteries. And what's going to end up happening is when you do this is that you're going to try to out damage your enemies. So when you do that, it's key to have more shield batteries than your enemies. So buy shield batteries if you're going to play this playstyle. Also, you and your teammates need to get aggressive and grab the supply bin and the materials. What this will do is, if you and your team grab the materials or supply bins, then that means that the enemies won't have the materials or supply bins, and that means they won't have as many materials as you and your team in the next round. So that means you could get more heals than them. And if you get the supply bins and the enemies don't get it, then that means that you will have more shields than them in that round. So a legend that could fit this type of playstyle would be a legend like Loba and her ultimate, or even Loba and her tactical. If you guys see me play Loba on Habitat, you guys know that this is the type of playstyle that I use when it comes to playing Loba on that map Habitat. I'll throw my bracelet, get the supply bin, and then either back up or position myself to where I could get shots on the enemies. And either way, I have the shield batteries, I have the Phoenix kit, you know, that I could distribute to myself and my teammates. But the most important thing is that the enemies won't have those shield batteries. Guns that will support this type of playstyle, the smart, defensive, and out damaging your enemies playstyle, it will be guns like the R301, the Hemlock, the Spitfire is very popular as well. You know, use these type of guns. The Flatline is up there as well, so use those type of guns. And like I said, this is the playstyle section. If you're gonna rush, use guns and buy stuff that is gonna support the rushing. And if you're gonna play the second style, which is the smart, laid back, defensive, and out damaging your enemies type of playstyle, then definitely do the things that I said. You know, grab those materials, supply bins, and buy the heals. You know, get as many heals as you can. Now, the third thing that we're going to be talking about are legends, and I think when it comes to arenas, legends is very, very, very important. So for arenas, the main legends that you'll see are like Pathfinder, Octane, and then the legend that you want to play around, which is a legend like, if you want to play aggressive, then it'll be like a Bloodhound. If you want to be a more movement legend, a more movement based team, then you'll do like Pathfinder, Octane, Horizon. Or if you want that support legend, you'll go with something like a Pathfinder, Octane, Lifeline. But the first legend that we're going to be talking about for arenas is the more position legend. These legends are legends like Pathfinder, Octane, Valk, and Maggie, depending on the map, right? So Maggie would be that position legend when it comes to a map like Drop Off. Valk could be a legend that's position when it comes to a map like Party Crasher. And then that second legend is a support legend, and this could be an extra movement legend, or it could be a legend like a Lifeline, or even a Bangalore. So the Lifeline is equivalent to a Gibby in BR. Lifeline in arenas is one of the best support legends that you can have in the game. And then the third legend on your team would be a legend that you're playing your playstyle around. That could be a legend like a scanning legend, like a Bloodhound. That means that you guys are probably a more aggressive team when it comes to choosing your playstyle. Or you could choose a legend like a Loba. And Loba is more that second playstyle that I was talking about, where it's more smart, defensive. You're trying to out damage your enemy, so you'll use your ult to grab heals. Or that third legend on your team could be a legend like Horizon, Wraith, where you guys are playing the more movement type of team, and you guys are trying to grab angles. And also, if you're new to arenas, just understand that arenas is very scripted. When I say scripted, it's like if you play arenas a lot, you'll know that people go to the same spots no matter what team that you're playing against. That means that the more you play arenas, the more you'll understand where people go, how the play styles work, and you could probably beat the people to certain spots and stuff like that, because you will play a lot faster, because you know what's going to happen in that game. The more you play arenas, the more experience you'll get, and the faster you will move. The best guns in the game for arenas as of right now, speaking on this video, are the Devotion and Hammer Point. And then the last thing that I want to say when it comes to tips is just the most important thing is just staying alive, grabbing positioning, try to get angles on the enemies, but just understand what legend you're playing as. If you're a legend who has an escape ability, then you could probably get away with getting a wide angle. But you don't want to get too far from your team, because once your enemies see that you're too far from your team, they're probably going to 3v2 your team. Also, if you are struggling and you're playing against the same people, I definitely recommend playing on different servers. So change your servers if you need to. You know, guys, this is the video on the best advice that I have for all new ranked arenas players, and hopefully this video helps you guys. If you guys did like this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.